Thank you everybody for joining. And my name is Tyson McMurran. I'm with Third Wave Business Systems, and I am the host today. I will not be presenting. If you have any questions throughout Darren's presentation today, please type them in the chat, or you can email myself, or you can email the meeting invite, and we can address the questions. Tomorrow we will send an email out to you with a link to this recording, so if you do end up having to take a call or deal with something, we will be sending the recording out tomorrow to you via email. So we've been working with Ascari and Cloud for Partners for about 4 or 5 years now, and the main reason that we chose to partner with Ascari and Cloud for Partners is they have a proven model for the SAP Business One customer. We did a lot of due diligence and looked at a lot of options for you, our customers, and the best way to deploy SAP Business One to the cloud. And with Ascari and Cloud for Partners, we found that they have both a proven model, a secure way of hosting, being that it's on an Amazon web service platform, and they truly understand you, the SAP Business One customer, and that's probably the most important thing, because they understand SAP Business One, they understand both the system needs and also how you, the customer, are normally needing a path to scale and grow. So without further ado, I'm going to turn this over to Darren Crawley, who is with Ascari Cloud for Partners, and he's going to go through the presentation today on how to get more secure and how to move SAP Business One to the cloud, and talk about the model and why this model works really well for you, the SAP Business One customer. So welcome, Darren, and thank you for your time, everyone.
Thank you, Tyson. Firstly, it's an absolute pleasure to be joining both yourself and your customers today. Tyson's quite correct. We have a very strong and long-standing relationship when it comes to working together to deploy SAP Business One in the cloud. And there are a number of things I wanted to give you an insight into today. So without further ado, I'll move on to today's agenda. It's a very high-level overview, explaining a little bit more about Ascari and Cloud for Partners, and also giving you more understanding of what the Cloud for Partners solution actually does and how it works, as well as delving into some of the key benefits for deploying your system and software in the cloud. So what I wanted to do is just really explain a little bit more about Ascari, the company, and our Cloud for Partners hosting service. So Ascari itself is a UK-based SAP Business One Gold partner. We've been in existence since 2013, and we serve the domestic UK and Irish SAP Business One marketplace. Now, obviously, we've had a lot of experience over that time, nearly a decade's worth of experience of deploying SAP Business One. But the crucial thing is, within our own domestic marketplace, we started from day one with a view to deploying B1 first and foremost in the cloud. So we've had a lot of experience of actually doing that within our own domestic market. However, as things have moved on, we actually found that we were getting a lot of interest from other SAP Business One partners to actually host B1 for them. And this crystallized into the creation of a service proposition called Cloud for Partners, which we officially launched in April 2018. And that's when I came on board as the global account manager for Cloud for Partners. So ever since then, we've had a very strong and very successful relationship with Tyson, Corey, and the rest of the Third Wave team. And this is something that we feel can add some real benefit when you're looking to deploy SAP Business One and associated software products that integrate with B1 on our platform. So Ascari is the company, that's who we are. Cloud4 Partners is our hosting service. And when we look at the key messaging behind that, one of the things I'm really keen to stress, and I know Tyson mentioned it earlier, is that we're not just a hosting company. We have expertise and experience of deploying B1 within Amazon Web Services. In fact, our staff are certified and trained and experienced in both AWS technologies as well as SAP Business One. So that gives you that, that added value that you've actually got something that works for you from day one, because the people who are behind the scenes helping Third Wave to deploy your SAP Business One system in the cloud have actually got that knowledge and experience nailed already. And it works particularly well because in essence we're talking about delivering a combination of two world-class enterprise standard technologies, SAP Business One when it comes to ERP, as well as the AWS infrastructure when we look at infrastructure as a service or platform as a service. So you're getting a great combination there. And if we look a little bit further into actually how the C4P service proposition works, everything is based upon the bedrock of storing your own data securely and reliably within AWS. All customer data is stored within Amazon Web Services. On top of that, and think of this as a layer cake approach, we have our own secret sauce, and this is where our own architecture, Cloud4 Partners Architecture 3, really does deliver extra benefits. It offers an extra layer of security. It enables rapid and reliable deployments using something that we call infrastructure as code. It enables integration between SAP Business One and many of Third Wave's own suite of software applications and products. And it does that seamlessly and reliably. So it's a single proposition. When people ask why go and deploy your system in the cloud, well, there's a whole host of reasons, as you can see on the screen now. But I suppose if you wanted me to sum it up more pointedly, it's actually more secure to be in the cloud now than it is actually to be on premise, especially when you're deploying your system and your users where extra security protocols are hard baked in, such as multi-factor authentication. But not only does it give you more security, you also have more freedom and versatility. I think we can all say over the last 2 years or so, one of the things that's been really apparent is that everything was going to cloud-based technologies, but COVID-19 and the subsequent lockdowns threw petrol on the fire and made the need for that switch to happen more rapidly. And that's very much the case today. So when people ask me about the Cloud4 Partners service, during the conversation I have with our partners, often these key areas of concern and priority come into the conversation. So if any of these areas are important to you as a business, we, through Cloud4 Partners and Third Wave, can deliver those areas effectively for you. And an important thing in this day and age, of course, is to be ahead of the competition, to make whatever you do in your business be the best that it can be, and to actually service your own customers as effectively as possible. And by the technology that's deployed and enabled, by a number of other factors there on screen that you can actually take advantage of by partnering with ourselves. This will give you an edge in your market. And another great feature is that you're not constrained by having to invest in technology today that you will use 2 years down the line or 3 years down the line. You use and pay for the resources that are actually available today, and you can scale up and grow your infrastructure as your business grows. And this is really important because businesses evolve, and it's really important that when you're actually looking at managing your cost base, you can actually see that there's a compelling cost of ownership. And with cloud versus on-premise, there's a number of key areas, such as staffing costs, such as actual physical costs for hardware, whether it's servers or associated hardware. And it could even be the infrastructure to house that type of equipment. You don't have to worry about that. Everything is included in your monthly or quarterly invoice. And it's very much a journey as well. So we appreciate you may start with a particular deployment requirement today, but in a few months, a few years, maybe even a decade's time, your business will have changed. And because Cloud for Partners is flexible and scalable, you can always effect that change with your IT infrastructure well ahead of those changes in your business, which means you're not delayed, you're not held back. You can always move on and add more value to the business. And it's an easy to deploy model as well. Third Wave and Cloud for Partners work in collaboration to ensure that there's a fully complete design and build service as part of the original setup for you. And what it means is you're good to go from day one because we've done all the necessary planning to make it a successful project. And we know from our own experience with looking at the news recently, there's a lot of concerns about security in the world when it comes to IT infrastructure. We know that AWS holds tier 4 top security level. When you look at security, it's very much the case that AWS leads the field when it comes to security of all data stored within the different regions and availability zones and data centers that they have. Not only is that physical security, but AWS is also architected to be the most flexible and secure cloud computing environments available today. And the core infrastructure within AWS is designed and built to satisfy the security requirements for the military, global banks, and other high sensitivity organizations. So you have no concerns about that, because that's where your data sits. However, on top of this baked-in security, Cloud for Partners also offer an extra layer of protection on top. So as I've mentioned earlier, we implement multi-factor authorization as standard on our builds. We use a product called Duo MFA. We also use cutting-edge AI-based applications in order to identify and isolate any potential threats before they can even happen. And we have examples of where that's happened in a number of our deployments globally. Furthermore, with the launch of Architecture 3 on Cloud for Partners, which Third Wave were instrumental in helping us to progress in the second half of 2020. We did some R&D with our friends at Third Wave. The main architectural changes center around improving the service unit isolation, which means that you have your own virtual private cloud. So you're not part of multiple businesses with multiple partners in the same space. You have your own secure cloud environment. And finally, Cloud for Partners technical staff run regular penetration tests on our own architecture. And that's in order to ensure that there's a constant and consistent level of robustness, not just against current, but also emerging threats to platform security and data integrity. And obviously, given what's happening in the world at the moment, that's a very, very topical area of concern. Because security is pretty much a given, and because it's based upon what AWS deploy and update, compliance is met with a whole host of different global regulations. And as I mentioned before, it's very much a collaborative approach. We're proud of the fact that for the last 3 to 4 years, we've worked very closely with Tyson, with Corey, and other members of the Third Wave team to ensure that each individual customer project has not only launched successfully, but has then moved forwards and progressed so that the business has grown and also their confidence in Third Wave and C4P has grown as their business moves forward. And we're based in the UK, but we are a global reach company. The map you can see shows all the geographical areas where Cloud for Partners has enabled a SAP Business One customer to deploy successfully. So this shows that we actually work very much on the AWS model. AWS is available globally, so is Cloud for Partners. And we have a particularly strong footprint in North America, as you can see from the 2 data centers there, one in the USA and one in Canada. There's various questions that are asked, and as Tyson's already mentioned, if you'd like to raise a few questions with either Tyson or myself after today's webinar, we'd be delighted to furnish you with more details. But these are some of the more obvious questions that tend to crop up when we have that initial discovery meeting. And I'm sure that if there's any more questions off the back of what we can see here, we can actually address those very quickly and in a very timely fashion for you. But the bottom line is that we can actually enable Cloud for Partners to have your SAP Business One system deployed quickly, effectively, and securely through Third Wave. Third Wave are also very knowledgeable about how our platform works, how to get the best out of it. So it very much is a marriage that works very well for all customers of Third Wave. And that pretty much gives you a very brief snapshot of the service. Tyson, I don't know if you want to maybe add any more to what we've covered off, but I'm sure we can give the audience more information as and when they need from us.
Yeah, thank you, Darren. A couple things that I do want to just highlight. One is that you can bring your SAP licenses and environment with you. So we'll help you when we're deploying to the cloud, moving your current environment to the cloud. So it's not like we have to start all over with a new implementation. We can move your environment, from your on-premise to the cloud, and we've done that numerous times. Another thing, Darren, that you mentioned is that our products come along with that as well, both the products that are in SAP Business One and products like Versago and BizWeaver that are, loosely coupled products. We have a path for you to be able to deploy Versago and BizWeaver within the cloud as well. If you want to keep Versago and BizWeaver outside of the cloud, we can also do that. So it's a very flexible model that meets the needs of our customers, and it's truly why we have partnered with you, and why we truly value the partnership that we have is that as you mentioned, the R&D that went into ensuring that we have these environments that are private cloud and for those of you that are looking at cloud solutions, private versus semi-private cloud, being able to access the database and being able to have some additional control over your environment are important things to consider when looking at deploying to the cloud. But the big thing, Darren, is ensuring that layer of security is still there, which is one of the big things that we really kind of drive to. So if you are interested in kind of deploying to the cloud, or if you have questions about your environment, SQL or HANA, or all of those different types of questions, reach out to us. We can work with you. We can talk about how we can move you along to this. And the nice thing is that you mentioned, Darren, is that it is scalable. So as you add new users, it's very easy for us to get those users deployed out and get their systems rapidly ready for them. So we work very closely with you and with the Ascari to ensure that you have no disruption in your business and that your data is secure.
Thank you, Tyson. Obviously, that wraps up my presentation for today. Please do feel free to contact Tyson or any of his colleagues there at Third Wave if there's any immediate questions stemming from today's webinar. Also, please do look out for any social media or digital marketing that Cloud for Partners and Ascari put out there. We are on the usual channels, LinkedIn, Twitter, and also YouTube, and we'd be delighted to welcome you as new customers onto the platform through our friends at Third Wave. We know it works, and we know it can work for you.
Excellent. Well, thank you everyone for your time, and like I mentioned, we'll be sending out an email shortly, so take care and stay connected, everyone.
Stay safe and well, everybody. Have a great day.